So I went online and I found this show, which is really good, that we started watching last night, and it's called Childhood 2.0. It's on YouTube. I think it was from it was from 2020. If anyone, by the way, um, if anyone has any ideas, I think we should definitely use this community. Maybe we can come up with some really good ideas of how we can help each other out as far as kids are concerned, because this is the future. And I'm concerned about the future of humanity when it comes to children. And I would love for us to possibly start, a thread or something, and share videos or share testimonials or share success stories or just share ideas. I know I can use as much help as possible. And I'm sure that if I'm there in that position, then many other people are going to be there in that position too. So it's probably one of the hardest things I'm going through right now, to be honest with you, is this challenge of these teenage years with my boys. And so I would recommend Childhood 2.0. It's a great documentary. And it is just blowing my mind of what's really going on out there with the children, especially the teenagers, with the peer pressure, especially the pressure on girls to send them nudes. I wasn't aware that kids' first exposure to porn is usually when they're between 8 and 11 years old. And, what I was learning by watching this is that parents have no clue. Parents have no idea what is going on with their kids and what their kids are exposed to. And yet every parent thinks they know what's going on with their kid. And the studies that were done, they basically said, oh, my kid would never, interviewing parents, oh, my kid would never be doing that. Oh, no, that's not my kid. That's not my kid syndrome. Most parents think that their kids are never doing that their kids would never do that, anything like that. Basically, if you think that your kid is not doing something or hasn't viewed something, 99.999% chance that they have. Most kids 20 years ago had not seen any sex or any porn until they were 15. As in 2020, and by the way, it's almost 2023 now, but in 2020, most kids at the age of 8 had some sort of porn experience, and kids have forgotten how to communicate. They're not even knowing how to date anymore. They just meet girls, and within 2 days or within 48 hours, they're asking these girls to send them nudes. And if the girls don't send them nudes, then they're ridiculed, they're kicked out of the groups. All of this stuff is happening to them. There's a whole world of psychological warfare going on right now for our children. And that's what I think we really need to be focusing on. We really need to be focusing on helping our children out and helping our children cope. When we were young, we were outside all the time. We were kicked out of the house. We would come back when the street lights came on, or like 30 minutes or an hour after the street lights came on, when it was just dark. We were riding our bikes. We were going down, knocking on doors in the neighborhood. Hey, let's meet at the park. Let's meet at the park. Seeing how many in the mornings, everybody would gather together. They'd all go meet at the park, the basketball, play football, play basketball, ride, go in the woods, build forts. That's how we all grew up. Nowadays, kids are living inside. And there was a massive campaign. We talk about these conspiracies and everything that aren't really conspiracies. They're actually the truth, to scare us, our generation, and scare everybody into thinking it was not safe. It's not safe to put your kids outside. It's not safe to let your kid go ride a bike. It's not safe to let your kid go walk around because they're going to get kidnapped or something's going to happen to them. That was just a big ploy to keep and suppress the minds of the youth. And it was a psychological warfare experiment that was put on us. Do you know that in this movie that I just watched, this documentary, they compared the safety of when we were kids going outside and playing, how many kids were kidnapped, how many kids were actually died, how unsafe it actually was, to the kids right now. And do you know it was like hundreds of times safer back then when you compare to the amount of kids today that are committing suicide, that have mental disorders, that are having communication issues, that are having severe obesity issues, that are having severe depression issues. It is thousands of times safer to put your kids outside today compared to the amount of conditions that these kids are suffering from right now. So do the best that you can. And I don't know, I don't know, maybe we should put something together for everybody that, and keeping your kids healthy is tremendous. Talking to your kids, listening to your kids, understanding what your kids might be going through. You can feel the energy. You can start feeling the seclusion. You can start feeling them wanting to spend more time alone in their room. You can feel them not wanting to spend more time with family. You can feel them not wanting to engage with you in deep conversation. Pay attention and listen to your kids. I wish I had all the answers, but I'm going through it right now. I don't, I feel like I'm in kindergarten some days, trying to go through this, but get the kids out more, get them in the garden, get them growing things, teach them about, get them on the beach, somewhere, as much as you can, man, try to regulate that social media and that digital presence.